is March 24th, and this is my grandma, Clara Peach. Grandma, my first questions are, how old were you when you lived during the war?
23.
Okay, did any loved ones go in the war?
Oh, yes, my husband went, and my sister, who was a home ec teacher, joined the Red Cross and served in London during the Blitz.
Okay, what was the Blitz?
The Blitz was when the Germans came over and every night would strafe the buildings, and they'd drop bombs all through London.
Okay, how did you first learn about the war?
A radio announcement came over that we had declared war on Germany.
Okay.
That was December 9th, I believe.
What were some changes in the U.S.?
Changes during the war in the U.S.? Oh, well, we became very aware that we could be bombed, and so that living close to the shore, we were living in New York, we had to have blackouts. We had to have black curtains at every window. We couldn't have any light showing, so that we had complete darkness during the night. And also, this was on the West Coast also, but mostly on the East Coast, because we were aware that the Germans had U-boats, submarines that were stationed offside the shore.
Okay. Did you have any children?
Yes, I had one baby. He was a year old when my husband joined the Navy. So that I had one.
Okay. What kind of job did you have?
I was a teacher until my baby came. Then I joined the Red Cross also and taught feeding horses for Red Cross people, and that was feeding during disaster. And I also taught first aid because I was a home ec major, and I majored in nutrition.
Okay. And my last question is, what was it like during the war?
Ooh.
Like after the war, I mean.
After the war?
Yeah, well, during the war too. Okay.
Well, during the war it was hard. We went without many things. Of course, I was worried and concerned because my husband was on an aircraft carrier over in the Pacific, and I had this year-old baby. So I went home with my family, and we went without many things. We were rationed. Our food was rationed. We had very little allowances for sugar, for meat, for shortening. We could grow our own vegetables, of course, and this sort of thing. But people in the city couldn't, so that was rationed. And our gasoline was rationed. We had very little gasoline to use, so that we really thought twice before we got in the car and went someplace. And any appliances or anything that went bad, you couldn't replace them. There was no way to get anything like that. We did with what we had.
Okay, and what was it like after the war?
Oh, it was wonderful. Except that we had to go for a long time. My husband came home from the Navy, and we bought a little house, and we had trouble getting all the appliances. We had to wait for a long time to get a refrigerator, and we had to borrow one of my father's cars because we couldn't buy a car. And you sort of gradually you were able to get things, but for a while everything was very hard to get. It was rationed.
Okay, and one last question. Did you have any friends that were affected by this?
Affected. I think we were yes, I had a few. I had two friends who were killed. They were in the Air Force, and they were pilots, and they were killed. Friends. I can only think of, I think we were the ones that my husband and I were the ones that were, of our friends, close friends, who were most affected. We did have friends who had been living in the Philippines. They were working for an oil company, and when the Japanese came in a year later, they were not captured isn't the word, but the Japanese came in, and all the Americans that worked for this big company were put into a compound, and they just confiscated all their belongings, and they lost all their worldly things that they had over in the Philippines, which was they lived in beautiful places, and the Japanese just took everything, their homes and everything, and they had to live in these compounds and teach their children. They had to take them out of school, and they had to teach their children themselves, and they had little tracts of land where they could plant plants, food, and so I guess they were the most affected people that we had.
Hey, thanks for the interview.
That was 6 minutes.
Is that the thing that I gave Mama?
I think so. It's very complicated. Can't see no more.
Can you see things?
Yeah.
Can you see me?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Hey, G.
Are you going to take that to school and show everybody?
Yeah, not right now. We're gonna
What's going on out there?
Jeez.
A little.
Mommy was taking Adam to
Captain Pete's.
okay, what are we going to do for supper?
I don't know.
You're not going to, oh, you got your Girl Scout lady coming.
Oh, shoot.
What do you mean shoot?
Shoot, I mean, I didn't get it all calculated out.
Did you get my $20?
Yeah.
I'll pay, but I'm not,
I know I'll pay the ward.
you or your mother can pay the
I'll
ward.
pay the ward.
Because I tried so long to take you.
Shoot, where's the calculator? Man, I got
5.00 plus 12.50 plus 12.0.
Oops.
Uh-oh.
Just give this. Oh, dang, that thing's still going. I hope that Miss Parker can. I hope Miss Parker can find the stop button.
There's your receipt. Oh, thanks, loads. Cara.
Thank you.
Help her out
Thank
the
you.
door, honey.
Yourself.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm going.